Hello, hello.
All right. Hello, everyone. Some more people coming. Oh, we need to. All right. Hey, how's it going? We are Experimental. My name is Matias. This is Luciano. We are CEO and CTO. Let me see how this works. All right. All right. Thanks for coming. It is not a morning to get out of bed, so thanks for doing it. Well, basically, we're 25 years old. We've been working together for 8 years now. I know I personally look like shit and older. But anyways, we founded a company called TMP, which is that logo right there, like 4 years ago. And a year ago, we sold it. We sold it to a European company, European competitor, actually. And when that happened, we started thinking on what to do, like what to do next. And it was a really, really hard decision. We started discussing. Luciano here really wanted to work on Ethereum, like to dive into Ethereum, into the blockchain, into cryptocurrencies. And myself, I was more, I'm more business oriented. So I saw how the market was super small. At that time, the only benchmark we have is MetaMask, and the number of users at that time was really low. It's still really low. It's around 1 million. So, for a whole market, it's nothing. So anyways, Luciano really wanted to do it. I didn't want to do that. And, with this discussion, I think we were like a year just discussing and just talking about it. So, we were fearing what the fuck we should do. So we traveled a bit, and finally decided on these three rules. We agreed on these 3 rules. The first one was to do something in the Ethereum community, in the Ethereum network. The second one, which was an agreement between both of us, was to not raise stupid amounts of money on an ICO. We think it's not sustainable, and we saw many projects raise like millions and millions for products that didn't exist. So we decided to do it, in a sustainable way to create a real company. We've been working for a while, so we knew how to build a company, and we wanted to do it the right way. So these 2 rules, and the third one was to build a profitable company that helps the market scale. If we're gonna jump into the market, we want it to be a good market, so we can build again a great company. And this was the question we asked ourselves. So how do we get scale? At first, you probably think on Raiden or Plasma, on all these tech solutions. We think it's more complicated than that. It's not only infrastructure that we need. So we think this is like what Ethereum really needs. It needs passionate teams that will build projects, will build software, will build solutions, and the infrastructure, the tech behind it, will finally come if there are passionate teams. And these are three things or 3 points we think are key for the development of the market. First is education. Most of the people don't really know what Ethereum is. And I won't even talk about interacting with an app on the Ethereum network, which is much more complicated for not tech savvy people. Then we need usable apps, like usable by everyone. Like they should be able to use it as any other app. Like not knowing so much about the blockchain and cryptocurrencies and the rest. And then as a third pillar, let's say, infrastructure and tech solutions like Plasma and Raiden. But it's like a more holistic approach to scale. That's what that was our agreement, to say it in a way. So that's why we founded Experimental, right? Basically, Experimental tries to show the world what can be done with the blockchain, with cryptocurrencies. And how do we do it? Through experiments. We call them experiments. Basically, an experiment is an app that is blockchain-based, in this case, Ethereum-based, and that can have basically like a massive, massive adoption, from anyone and everyone. We decided that if we are going to do this, we needed more than our team. We are 8 people, in Argentina and in the States. But we thought we would need some more people, some more ideas, some more approaches. So we decided to create a community of 300 people. And at the same time, we needed to finance our first, our first months of development of the first experiment. So we decided to do a really small pre-sale in which we only accept 300 people and let them invest only 1 Ether at first. Then some of the investors and collaborators, as we call them, ask for more. So now it's capped on 10 Ether. You can invest from 1 Ether to 10 Ether. And the main idea is that token holders will help us in any possible way. So we are only accepting people that can add value other than the Ether they invest, right? So we need you to add ideas or, whatever your field of expertise is. We need you to give us feedback, and we need you to test the experiments, whatever you can do. We have like communicators, marketing people, devs, designers. We have everything, even like formal investors like Mike. Mike is the CEO at Science VC, which is a big crypto VC. He was also the CEO at MySpace. And for example, one other guy who joined is Jerome, the guy organizing this whole thing. And in the, here in this room, I see a couple more of the community. So yeah, basically the community will help us build all the experiments, test them, and just try to comply with it, get to our vision. Sorry. All right. This is the token we created. It's the experimental token, or as we call it, 11, because it's the E plus 11 letters. It's an ERC20, and it will be, a key part in all our experiments. You will be able to use it in all our software, in all our apps. And the main idea of this particular token is that it should be an easy access token, as we call it. You should be able to get it without knowing how to buy Ether, without knowing how to use an exchange, without knowing, basically, without being tech savvy. Just as you go and play any other game or use any other app, you should be able to buy our token with a credit card or whatever. So that's the main idea of the token. The token holders are our community, and our community will help us get to our goal.
Well, so to start with the first experiment, it's a game called Crypto Wars. Crypto Wars is a strategy game that fully runs on the Ethereum blockchain. So basically, you will build your village, you will create some units and attack other players to steal part of their resources. A fun part of this is that you can actually stake some tokens into your village to get to boost your progress in game. But that also makes you kind of a target to other players to come and attack you and steal part of those tokens. We decided to build Crypto Wars because, well, first, it's a game, it's fun, and secondly, it's kind of blockchain and gaming are really strongly related. Thanks. First of all, a game is suitable for anyone. So even from a child to an adult can play a game and will enjoy it. Secondly, it attracts attention. So it's kind of we received a lot of attention and a lot of good feedback from building the game. It also has a lot of challenges. We'll talk about them later. And most importantly, it's fun. So yeah, for example, here, one of the state of the apps conferences here said, okay, yeah, gaming is the #1 topic everyone is searching when searching for a dApp. So it's really big. And for example, one of the, going to the current issues we are facing now on Ethereum, it's really, really expensive to run the game on-chain. For example, there are some basic costs that if you will run it on the Ethereum blockchain with, 20 Gwei and a price of Ether of $700, it will be, for a normal player, pretty expensive to play the game. It also, like, we kind of need the Ethereum network to be stable and have low latency for the user experience to be good. This is not always the case. For example, with CryptoKitties or with another, whatever comes along, like the Ethereum network is not ready yet to handle these kind of transactions. So what we decided for the first alpha version, it's basically to isolate the project. So we created our own proof of authority network thanks to Puppet and AWS. But there are some issues with that. Like first, it's really easy to develop into like your own network. I know it's a more controlled environment, so whatever you can do whatever you want. You don't have to worry so much about costs or security issues. But also the issue is that users playing the game will be playing for fake money. So it's not really what we want for them to really try out the experience of the game. It's also centralized since right now we are the ones controlling the network. And it requires you to be a collaborator to play this first alpha. So it's not an ideal situation, but it's the one we started with. So for version 0.2, we are planning to start scaling it a bit. So basically, we are going to start to develop kind of a Plasma MVP on our testnet. We're also talking with some other companies that does like app-specific sidechains. For example, Loom. Right now, they have a distributed proof of stake chain, but it now runs on Go. We are waiting for them to implement the chain to be able to run.
I think we lost power.
Yeah? Oh, only the lights.
Lights?
Yeah. So we're waiting for them to implement the ability to also put smart contracts into the sidechain. And obviously, we want to like upgrade from our like centralized solution of proof of authority to a more decentralized solution that is fair for the testnet at least. But also there are issues with this version. It's like it's still not like safe enough to handle real money, and it's still like since it's fake money, it's not like a really good user experience. So for the first beta version, what we are hoping is that to have some kind of solution that will allow us to go into the Ethereum mainnet for like security and all these reasons. And that said, we will be able to play for real money, so a lot of the in-game economy adjustments will come along too. And since it will be kind of an open beta, more open than it is right now, we will be able to test it on a larger scale. After the V1, we are planning to do like a public access game. And for this to work, we need the people like common folk to be able to get the token, get Ethereum to pay the gas, and to kind of know how to interact with the game. Yeah. Don't worry. So basically, what we are looking here is what Matias said. We will need an easy access token, and this is why we want to create like a micro exchange that will allow us like users with a credit card just to get like a little bit of Ether and the tokens they want. And we are also working on a mobile app, especially on a Unity 3D plugin. I think so. Well, this is the the other slide. So basically, what we're working also, it's on a Unity 3D plugin. Right now, it's in the asset store, or it will be like in a week. This will allow us to have like a native wallet the users can create on their phones and just like add the funds they want to play with, like to play around with. And it will also like help other developers that are in the community to build their own games and to help grow the ecosystem. So apart from that, like as I said, you could stake tokens. Right now, the only token you can stake is the 11 token. Afterwards, we're planning on like being able for you to like stake whatever you want. So even like another token like ERC20 or the extension. And for example, I don't know, you could stake like a CryptoKitty or whatever. And also we are planning, we're like in talks with team to plan other integrations, for example, on the Decentraland, on all these other projects. So
Yeah, well, so today at lunch we're gonna meet, for an Ethereum gaming meetup. We're like in every conference we go, we find really interesting people working on the field. So if you guys want to join us, we'll be in the Jean Baptiste amphitheater at lunch. So if you want to grab a sandwich and come, you're more than welcome. That's pretty much it. About future experiments, we're still looking for these 300 people. We have many, but so for you to have an idea, we are accepting around 4% of all applications we get into the pre-sale. This is mainly because I would say, 96 people out of 100 are basically like speculators that don't really understand what we're talking about or what Ethereum is or anything else basically. So we're only taking in those that can actually help, add value other than money. So if you are interested in joining us, please go to e11.io. You will be able to apply there. And if you're just interested in the game, you can also find the game there and subscribe. So when it's out, you can try it. Right now we have like an alpha version online, which is only for collaborators. So all these people that invested and joined the pre-sale are testing the game right now. But it's still a really raw version of it. So, all right, that's mainly it. Thank you. Do we have time for Q&A or I don't know? All right. Any questions?